Good morning, my fellow Bahamians. This week we learned of the significant ruling that was handed down by the New York Supreme Court that has been almost 9 years in the making. The Bahamas Constitution Party wishes to commend that ruling in favor of foreign investor Sarkis Izmirlian, awarding him $1.6 billion as compensation for the hijacking of his vision and the loss of his equity in the Bahama project. This court ruling vindicates Izmirlian but amplifies the unfair and corrupt dealings of the Christie Davis administration during the late 2015-2016 debacle with the foreign investor and his mortgage with the China XM Bank. I believe that this is a good ruling and a come to Jesus moment for the government of the Bahamas, that it is not allowed to promote its own self-interest with the hard-earned money of foreign or Bahamian investors. My commendation of this victory for Sarkis is that it proves that justice will finally prevail no matter how long it takes, as well as what's done in the dark eventually comes to light. And what is even more disconcerting is the impunity of the corrupt Christie administration, which lacked political integrity and all acted on their own self-interest at the expense of the Bahamian citizens they were meant to serve. During the ordeal, the BCP warned and scolded the Christie administration regarding their involvement with the Chinese and cited its obvious plot to disenfranchise Sarkis Izmirlian of his investment by colluding with the China XM Bank and its construction company, China Construction America, to force Izmirlian into foreclosure of his $2.4 billion mortgage. And this was facilitated by the CCA's series of delayed completion of the project for the opening. The BCP cited at the time that its concern was any further agreement being made with the China XM Bank was a significant move by them of taking control of the Bahamian economy. For if they seize control of the Bahama project and its other interests, including the British colonial Hilton, that this would place a foreign government strong influence at almost 20% of GDP, which in essence would compromise the country's sovereignty. At the time, the BCP held a small ad hoc protest in Parliament Square, inviting Bahamians to join the protest of this matter. It had become clear that they were operating in collusion when the Christie administration, led by its Attorney General, Alison Gibson Maynard, filed in the Supreme Court to put the project into receivership and liquidation. The judge in the case was the present Chief Justice Ian Winder, who declared the matter in favor of the China XM Bank and then sealed the documents at the request of the Chinese so that their corrupt dealings were not revealed. The government moved quickly and did not allow the opportunity for Sarkis Izmirlian to reorganize himself with a Chapter 11 proposal in the United States. So despite the absurd denial of the chairman of the PLP, Minister Fred Mitchell, claim that there is no corruption in this deal, this Davis administration should be very concerned regarding the implication of this ruling, as many of those who sat in Christie's cabinet now sit in the Davis cabinet or are senior advisors in this administration. And the unethical behavior of those ministers involved were never rebuked or chastised. We've provided here links and are inviting persons to go online our website, bcpparty.org, on the pages latest news, the servant leader speaks and press conference, and see several powerful and explosive articles written back in 2015 highlighting the debacle, and a copy of the memorandum signed by the government of the Bahamas in 2009 by the Ingram administration to protect Chinese investments in the Bahamas at all costs, no matter who gets hurt. These articles will reveal what happened back then and the serious implication of this ruling on the Bahamas' integrity under this Davis administration and the reputation of its public official. As always, may God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas with good governance and righteous leaders and keep us safe from corruption and corrupt official. I thank you.